the big island of Brazil. Welcome to Ilha Grande. Filled with lush forests and incredible beaches, this island is a traveler's favorite when visiting the region of Rio de Janeiro. All around this big island are brilliant blue and green lagoons, fascinating rock formations, and endless stretches of beach perfect for surfers and sunbathers alike. In this video, we'll take you along for the ride as we navigate the best things to do here on Ilha Grande, such as a boat tour visiting some amazing snorkeling spots to relaxing on the most beautiful beach, Lopes Mendes. Let's begin our morning with a quick breakfast before our tour. Literally just a couple minutes down from our hotel, we came to a little cafe spot. It's super quiet and they serve breakfast. It's called Lagoa 33. We literally got the biggest combo for both of us. It has like 6 different items. And the reason why we wanted to stuff ourselves this morning is because during the tour, you don't get to have lunch until a lot later. And that's for all tours. So we wanted to have our fill so we don't get hungry throughout. And we're really excited. We've got some coffee, some juice, a bunch of different stuff, and even some fruit at the end.
A great little breakfast to kickstart our day. Now I think our goal is to go and find some snorkeling gear. Now almost always on these tours they don't include it, and if you wanted to get it from the tour themselves, it's usually like double the price if you just find it in town. So yeah, I'm gonna walk around a little bit, hopefully find a little snorkel shop and go rent some gear. Oh yeah, we got our snorkel gear, and the place that was recommended to us from our hotel was, there's actually a lady right by the pier. Her little kiosk is so cute with all the snorkel gear that you need. So we got fins for me, and we both got a snorkel set, and those together was 60. We got a little 10% discount because we were staying where we were, and it was based on a low referral. Oh, you guys wanted to book the same place? We'll go ahead and link that in the description below.
Yes. And we also have some fish food. This is something that she gave us. It's one of the only places that you can get a little bit of fish food when you rent your snorkel gear. So this is a really great way for us to attract the little fishies later on when we hit up the lagoons.
So this is our sailor for today, Luis. He is going to be in charge of us, make sure we're all safe and stuff. So he came and picked us up. He came and grabbed us from Costa Verde. That's where we're staying, by the way.
We're going to be heading up on this tour. The great thing about Costa Verde is that we also get a 10% discount thanks to Ricardo, the owner. So that's actually another advantage to staying with them, is that you can get picked up and get a bit of a discount on the tour.
Exactly, because pretty much every single tour agency, they charge the exact same price. So it's definitely nice to get a little bit of a discount.
After a little quick check-in process and paying for our tours, getting our little wristbands, we're following another guy named Fabio. We're gonna go on our tour. I think this is the time that we get on that boat.
We have made it over to our first stop. Honestly, I don't know how it sounds on the GoPro because we do have the underwater case. As you can tell, we already hopped in here to snorkel a little bit. But this is Lagoa Verde, or the Green Lagoon. I think a lot of times the fish will come up to us because they think we have food. It's pretty common here to feed the fish food for them to come up close to you. But sadly, we didn't. So that lasted all of like 5 seconds. They realized we didn't have any food, so they just hurried away. And right over here, you can see we're on this like sandy area, pretty shallow. There are so many fish right by the rock. But hopefully the snorkeling will be a little bit better when we hit the big open water. Can you see the snorkel marks?
Diver.
See a little bit of the snorkel marks? Okay, we are here at our lunch spot. It's actually a pretty nice looking restaurant over here. But one thing to note though, the food is not included. You do have to purchase it, and it's really, really expensive. So honestly, if you guys wanted to, you could just bring your own food. You can still sit here and relax. But of course, you want to splurge, you want to enjoy a meal here, nothing wrong with that.
We opted not to have a meal at this floating restaurant since we do want to have a proper meal later tonight in town. But we did decide to have some drinks. I went with a passion fruit juice, which does look really good. You can see some of the pulp, some of the seeds in here, which I like. And Jason just had to have his caipirinha. I don't know why, but every time we go somewhere nice in Brazil, he has to have one.
How can you possibly come to Brazil and not get a caipirinha? It's literally so refreshing. This might actually be one of my all-time favorite drinks now.
They have these hammocks that are right by the water. Like, I'm literally right above the water. So I'm a little bit scared to go on it, but it looks so relaxing, so I'm gonna have to give it a try anyway. Hammocks are always like tough to get into, but once you're in it, you're so relaxed. I actually feel like I'm in like a half open cocoon right now.
So right there behind me is Love Beach, even though there's no beach yet because it is high tide. And apparently the legend goes that if you and your partner jump in with your hands together and then you kiss either during the jump or after the jump, one of the two, you'll be together forever. That's what's called Love Beach. Again, no real beach. I don't know if anybody on our boat is actually going to go in because it is kind of cold. It's a little bit chilly, windy, and again, a little bit cloudy. We have made it over to our final stop, which is Praia Venticera. And it's actually a pretty small beach, but it is absolutely gorgeous with the greenery and these big boulders just sticking out of the ground. Now also, of course, crazy overcast day today. Can you imagine how beautiful this place will look when the sun just shines against that water, creating that vibrant blue? Now, there is a plus side, and it's that we won't get sunburned because literally a couple of days ago, we were over in Arraial do Cabo, and we definitely got a little sunburn over here on the shoulders. I think we're spending the next half an hour or so over here, just relaxing, hear the sound of the waves crashing before we head back into town. For dinner, we came over to this little restaurant called Kiosk Bistro, and it's located right by the pier. We're sitting right now actually on the beach. We're just hearing the waves crash against the shore, and there's some locals also playing football, which is really cool. Good morning, guys, and welcome to our beach day here on Ilha Grande. Luckily, there's some blue up in the sky, which is such a blessing compared to yesterday. Today, we're going to be heading over to what many consider to be the most beautiful beach on the entire island, and that is Lopes Mendes. Don't worry, it is not this beach over here. This is actually Praia Mendes, something like that. But there's a reason why we're here and not on Lopes, because there are three main ways to get to Lopes, but all of them require a little bit of effort. Now, the first way and the cheapest way is by hiking. Now, hiking there will take you about 3 hours. It is a little bit strenuous. There's a lot of up and down, and you do not want to do that after a rainy day because it does get slippery. But of course, fantastic way, get a little exercise in, and it's absolutely free. The second way is how we did it, which is by schooner or schooner boat, however you want to pronounce it. Essentially it looks like a big sailing ship without the sails. It does take a little bit of time out on the sea, but you get to enjoy the beautiful views of the island along the way. And that one costs generally about 40 to 50 reais per person round trip. Now the last way and the most expensive way is by taxi boat. Taxi boat will cost you about 70 per person round trip, which is not too bad. It's honestly just a little bit of an increase, and you do get here a lot faster. And that one drops you off at Praia Palmas. And that one is actually a little bit further than Mendes as it is to Lopes. So from all these places, they'll drop you off at a different beach, and you actually do need to walk a little bit to get to Lopes Mendes. So like I said, a little bit of effort, but let's hit up this trail.
This trail to the beach is a little bit more strenuous than we expected. There are some steep parts. I'm already slipping in the mud every now and then in these flip-flops. And there are some logs that do help you in the steep parts that act like steps. But Jason and I are already sweating a little bit, even after just 10 minutes. I expect to be walking for about 20 to 25 minutes to get to the beach, depending on your level. But I think it definitely beats having to walk 3 hours one way, all the way from the town of Abrão. Towards the end of the trail, we just ran into some marmosets, I think they're called. We actually saw these for the first time when we were doing the hike to Morro do Urca in Rio. There's so many here. They're so still. They're just hanging around the trees. I think they think we have food. I think there are about maybe 6 of them just hanging out, posing for our photos. We finally made it to Lopes Mendes Beach, and it is so huge. It's 2.7 kilometers long, so you can pretty much find anywhere along this beach that you have all to yourself. But not only is it really long, it's incredibly wide as well. Here's a tree line, and all the way there is the shoreline. There are no restaurants here, only a couple of vendors selling some cold sandwiches and drinks, probably at a decently high price too, so definitely bring your own food if you can. Immediately after we got here, I had to get in the water to cool down after that little trek, and it is actually freezing cold. Sometimes those surfer waves come up behind you. You have no idea that they are going to hit you in the face, but they do. Definitely a little bit risky to go swimming here because these waves are pretty massive. The water is not that calm, but I'm sure a lot of people boarding and surfing here are having an amazing time.